Alright, so after using the 15-inch MacBook Air for the past month, I want to dive deeper as to why this is such an easy recommendation to 99% of people that are looking to get kind of into the macOS ecosystem. Now, the Air series of the MacBooks has always been the entry level. It's going to be the easy to carry, but something that doesn't really get talked about a lot is really how portable these MacBooks are, especially when you compare them to something like a MacBook Pro. Now, the Airs have always been the entry level model, something that you get for students, something that you get parents, really anyone that's looking for a Mac that's going to be enjoying that wants to connect to their iPhone devices, that's going to kind of keep them within the ecosystem. But the portability factor of the Air series really is something that isn't talked about enough. It's super lightweight, it's super portable, it's great for students for that very exact reason. So I do think that this is an easy recommendation for every single person that's looking to kind of get a Mac that's going to work with their everyday setup. And I do know that the MacBook Air is going to be a very popular device, especially with kind of the new semester starting out for all of the students. This is going to be a great device for all of the students, especially if you're commuting to and from school day in and day out, because this is going to be a lot lighter. I can't tell you, when I went to college, I did have a 15-inch HP laptop that was a lot more kind of budget friendly, and because of that, it was a lot heavier than what this MacBook Air is. So if you do commute a lot, you're kind of looking to save your back, and you also are carrying a lot of textbooks, this is going to be a great option because it is on the lighter side, and it should kind of give you more of that portability factor of being able to carry it back and forth from class to your dorm or from class to home. And honestly, the footprint of the 15-inch MacBook Air, even when you compare it to something like the 16-inch MacBook Pro, is kind of smaller. With the 15-inch screen, you get a nice big display, but at the same time, it can fit in your backpack. I even managed to fit it in my 18-liter Bellroy Melbourne backpack, which is a great feature because this is a rather small backpack, and just being able to fit it inside that pocket is really nice. A lot of the backpacks out there are advertised to be for the 15-inch, so if you were say go for a 16-inch MacBook Pro, not only being a little bit larger than that laptop pocket, but also being a lot thicker, kind of the whole footprint of the MacBook might be a little more difficult to fit in your backpack, which is why the 15-inch MacBook Air is going to be a great for that portability factor. And then the second reason why the MacBook Air is such an easy recommendation is going to be because it is part of the M series lineup. It's been about 3 years now since Apple launched its M series chip, and ever since then they've just been kind of iterating and making it better and better. And the M2 series chip here on the MacBook Air is really great. It's very powerful, and it is going to kind of keep up with any task that you need to do. Now, I remember as a student, a lot of the tasks were kind of online. It was kind of dealing with Blackboard, turning in papers, doing some light Excel work. So in reality, that's nothing that's going to be too heavy for the MacBook Air. So really, a lot of people are going to be getting benefit. I myself, even as a content creator, have been using the MacBook Air to edit some of my videos, and it's been working flawlessly. It's never really stuttered too much. So I really like that. It's very great for something that's going to be using kind of mild to moderate intensity. So I do think it's a good option for that reason. And there are other features aside from the functionality and the portability of it that make this such a great option. It does kind of have a great LCD display that's very much comparable to the Apple Studio display, which is one of their kind of more premium displays that they offer. So it is very comparable to that. So you have a great display on the screen, and then you also have a great keyboard and great sounding speakers. So if you're going to be using it kind of for college as your all around perfect computer, do it all computer, you can use it to watch content, you can use it to type up essays, you can use it to do kind of all of your work, and this computer will honestly do it all. It's a great option for kind of the all around user. And the MacBook Air does have other features aside from the functionality and the portability of it. It has a great LCD display that's very comparable to the Apple Studio display. That's kind of more on their premium end of displays. It's very comparable. The colors are the same. The colors are great on this computer, and it has a great screen. It has great speakers, and it has a great keyboard. Meaning this can be your all-around computer. It can do it all from your homework to kind of watching content, watching movies. And if this is your only screen that you're going to be using, it is kind of on the larger side, being a 15.3-inch screen. So that's going to be great if you're going to be using it to watch movies, watch shows, watch all of the YouTube content in your dorm. But along with that larger screen does come a larger footprint. And I have mentioned before that the 16-inch MacBook Pro is on the larger side. So it kind of can be difficult to fit it into backpacks, which kind of kills the portability. But the 15-inch MacBook Air, even though it has a lighter footprint and a smaller footprint than the 16-inch MacBook Pro, it's still on the larger side of computers, especially when you compare it to the 13-inch M2 MacBook Air that's 2 inches smaller. And that's really going to affect you if you have a lot of physical note-taking, physical textbooks that you use, because whenever you go to either class or a coffee shop, whenever you're going to set up, that's kind of going to make you spread out because you have a 15-inch laptop and then you have your textbook, you have your notes, whatever it may be, you're going to be kind of spread out across the coffee shop table. And then in my experience, whenever I go to a coffee shop, a lot of these coffee shop tables are getting smaller and smaller. So whenever I go with my 16-inch MacBook Pro and I sit with my wife, it's kind of difficult to fit on those tables. And I don't even have anything that's physical. All of my stuff is online. So do keep in mind that if you are going to be taking physical notes, if you have a physical textbook that you need to use, keep in mind that the footprint of the 15-inch MacBook Air is a little on the larger side, so it is going to take up more desk space. So the quick solution to that, again, like I mentioned, there is a 13-inch M2 MacBook Air that has the same exact functionality, same exact screen, same exact keyboard, speakers, everything is the same, but it is in a smaller footprint. So if you are looking for something that's also portable and it can be as powerful as the 15-inch MacBook Air, it does have a smaller brother that you can go with. And then if you do end up deciding to go with a smaller screen, that kind of frees up a little bit more money if you have it to upgrade one single thing. And I'm sure you've seen all the videos, all the debates on what do you upgrade, memory or RAM. And honestly, 100% of the time, always go for the RAM, because later down the road, you can always upgrade the SSD with any sort of external storage. But the RAM is baked into the device. You can't upgrade it later on. So it's better to kind of upgrade the RAM now and then have the machine last a little bit longer. And these MacBook Airs with the M series chips are set to last quite a bit, which is why it's such an easy recommendation to go with this one. And of course, you can always go with the MacBook Pro, but that's going to cost you twice as much. And you will be getting that Liquid Retina XDR display, which is amazing. You're going to get a larger screen and better speakers. But it's easy to kind of to get caught up and get overloaded with all these features that in reality you're never really going to use. They're all really nice to have, but unless you're editing a heavy duty video, you're kind of editing a lot of HDR content, going with the MacBook Pro is just going to cost you twice as much, and you're not really going to be getting enough value for that twice as much money as you would with going with something else, like going with the MacBook Air and doing a couple more upgrades that are internal to the machine, which will kind of give you your money's worth and make the machine last a couple years more. In fact, if it was me deciding this year, I probably would go with the 13-inch M2 MacBook Air because it is more portable. It has the same functionality as a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I use my laptop a lot of the time docked, so I can set it up here and I'll have the same exact functionality. And then I can go to a coffee shop with my wife and we both will be able to fit at that coffee shop table. But because I have the 16-inch MacBook Pro right now, I won't be switching over to the MacBook Air, and I'm going to be sticking to that one, because if I go to the MacBook Air, it is going to be a downgrade and cost me more money. So that's definitely not the smart choice here. But what do you guys think? Are you going to be sticking to your current laptop, or is the 15-inch MacBook Air the one that you have been waiting for? What laptop are you even currently using right now? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you guys enjoyed the content. Click here to watch another one of my videos, and I will catch you guys in the next one.